How old are you? 78?
Yeah, don't make me older.
But say it that way. Don't say you've lived here the whole time.
I lived here when I was 4 years old, and I came back. Now that I'm 78, I'm back in the house where I grew up in. When I was a child, this neighborhood was virtually empty. There were very few people on the streets when we were playing outside. There were hardly any cars. There were times when we could play in the street for an hour and never see anybody or any car coming down. Neighbors were all outside, sitting on their porches, playing cards or talking with each other. My father won the first television at a fair at Holy Name High School in Brooklyn. We went up there to attend the bazaar, and I remember very vividly as a child that my father put money on a wheel and he hit the jackpot, which was I think it was a 9-inch television, which we were ecstatic. We were all excited to see that we were able to have the first television on the whole block. In fact, maybe one of the first in the entire area. And my neighbors came in, my friends that my playmates came in, and they all gathered here to watch our television. The big thing, or the big attraction that we all look forward to, was going to Coney Island to watch the fireworks on a Tuesday night, where our parents would take us by car, which my father had, or my neighbors would go by trolley to Coney Island to watch the fireworks. It seemed like everybody in Brooklyn on the weekend was in Coney Island in the summer. In our house, when we were growing up, our fireplace was the big thing. It used to work, and my father used to put wood in there, and we would have a fire in here in the winter. Today, in this area, we have people who come in and take out all the moldings that were ornate and part of the house and part of the structure, and make everything modern. When we were growing up, the woodwork was the biggest thing in this area because they had craftsmen who were able to manufacture and put in place all these intricate detailed stuff. Today, people come in, take everything out, put sheetrock up, and eliminate all the stuff that we had that made the houses beautiful as we were kids. When I was growing up, when my father told everybody that he got rooked when he bought our house, that he paid $35,000, which in that day, in his time, was outrageous. And he would yell and scream and curse every time he would relive the memory. Today the house is worth $3 million. So I hope he's looking down and realizing that he made a good investment instead of the bad investment that he thought he made. We used to hang out outside. We used to play marbles. We used to shoot marbles into a stack on the ground. Or we would play stickball in the streets where we would make believe we were playing baseball. Or we would have bicycle races which we would be able to ride up and down the street without any traffic. We used to take a box and put roller skates underneath it, and we used to ride the box up and down the street to imitate that it was a bicycle. Today, as I see my neighbors' children outside, they have very limited friends on the block to play with, and the mothers are really restrictive. And very rarely do the kids come out. Maybe on a Saturday, the fathers will take them out for an hour or two, and they get to mingle. But outside of that, there's very little camaraderie between families.